Hey foodies, I'm Shana and you're watching Recipes Are Simple. Today we're making another takeout favorite. We're making Mongolian chicken. If you've had Mongolian chicken or beef before, you'll know that it's a delicious tender chicken morsels in a delicious mouth-watering sauce. So this is really easy to prepare at home. It's better than takeout, so let's get started with the recipe. So for our special Mongolian chicken, we have 720 grams of boneless chicken breast cut into small chunks like this, and then we're going to add the batter ingredients. For this we need half a cup of cornstarch or corn flour and 2 tablespoons of tapioca starch. Tapioca starch gives a great texture. If you don't have it, you can skip it. We're also adding 2 tablespoons of plain all-purpose flour. To this we're going to add 1 egg, half a teaspoon of black pepper powder, and 1 tablespoon of toasted Asian sesame oil. So we're just going to mix this all really well to coat the chicken really nicely. You'll see how the batter is nice and thick and kind of sticky. That's how we want it. So I did rinse my chicken before I added all the batter ingredients, so it provided that slight moistness required to mix all the flours together. And if you didn't rinse your chicken, you can just add 1 tablespoon of water. We're also going to finely chop the ingredients needed for the sauce. Finely chopped garlic, ginger, spring onion whites, and dried red chilies that we'll be using later. So I have half a cup of peanut oil here, and we're going to fry the coated chicken. So what I'm going to do, once the oil has come to heat, we're just going to add all of the chicken in at once. You could use deep fryer and fry in batches, but it takes a long time. So this really gets nice results. Try it this way. Just add all the chicken in one go, and once it's all added, you just want to separate the larger chunks slightly. It will still stick together in places, that's fine. Now we're going to leave this on a medium sizzle, a constant sizzle, for about 3 minutes until one side becomes brown. After a minute or so into cooking, you can separate the pieces again slightly more. You don't want to mix the chicken around too much as soon as you've laid it into the oil, because it will separate the batter and you'll have just loose pieces of batter. So while that's frying for about 3 minutes, we're going to make the ingredients for the sauce. To 3/4 cup of hot water, we're going to add half a cube of vegetable stock. I'm using vegetable stock. You can also use chicken stock if you prefer. We're just going to mix that. So 3 minutes in, we're going to flip over our chicken. So since it's clumped together in sections, you can just flip it over easily. You don't have to break up all the pieces yet. And continuing with the sauce here, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce. You might need to add more soy sauce later to the sauce, as well as 3 tablespoons of sugar. Now here I'm adding 1 tablespoon of raw, that's unrefined sugar, and 2 tablespoons of soft brown sugar. So you can use the sugar you prefer. Just adjust the sugar according to how dark you want the sauce. So 3 minutes in, we're going to separate the chicken pieces now. Just break up all the pieces so that the individual pieces are separated finally. And then you can toss them and fry them so that the pieces are fried all around. And now the chicken has been fried for about 4 to 5 minutes, and it's really nice and tender, and it's kind of bouncy, as you can see here. So it's ready to be removed from the oil. So you can remove most of the oil, just leave around 3 tablespoons in there, and we have our chopped ingredients ready. Minced ginger, 2 teaspoons of minced ginger goes in first, followed by 2 to 4 dried red chilies that have been broken like this. I'm using milder red chilies so it doesn't pack so much heat. Followed by the minced garlic, 2 tablespoons here, and 2 tablespoons of spring onion white portions. We're reserving the spring onion greens for later. To this, we're also going to add half a teaspoon of chili pepper flakes. It adds a nice color and a little bit of kick. Just a little bit more there. And we're just going to mix this until the color of the dried red chili sort of mixes through with the sauteed ingredients. But here you have to be really careful not to burn your garlic. On a medium flame, keep stirring till it's nice and fragrant and the color is lightly golden. At this stage, we can add the prepared sauce. So I've added the sauce and we're just going to bring it to a simmer. Since it has that sugar in there, we want to boil it for a while to thicken slightly. And here I will need some more color and a little bit more flavor. So I'm adding 1 more tablespoon of light soy sauce. Add according to taste and according to the flavor of your soy sauce. So once it's simmered and thickened just slightly, we're going to add the fried chicken. Toss the chicken pieces in the sauce. Just toss till it's nicely coated. It looks delicious already, but we're not done. Once the pieces have just cooked in that sauce very briefly, we're going to add the corn flour slurry. So 2 teaspoons of cornstarch dissolved in half a cup of water. Make sure you mix it really well and just pour it over. And now we're going to toss once more until the sauce thickens because of the corn flour slurry and it becomes slightly glossy. Now it's looking perfect. So at this point we can turn off the flame. Garnish with the reserved spring onion greens cut into pieces like this. Just give it one more toss. And now you can remove this to a serving dish. And what makes Recipes Are Simple Mongolian Chicken special is this final step. We're heating up 2 tablespoons of oil in a small separate pan here. Once the oil is hot, we're going to add just a 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. It's mild chili powder, and as soon as the chili powder sizzles, we're going to add some cut dried red chilies again to this oil. I've added 2 dried chilies that have been broken like this. And very quickly, we're going to add a little bit more spring onion greens. Don't allow the red chilies to burn. Very quickly to this, add a 1/4 to half a teaspoon of honey, depending on how you like it sweet. So just give it a good stir. It becomes slightly thickened and syrupy. And once the chicken has been removed to the serving dish, we can just pour over this sauce. It's so delicious. So your Mongolian chicken is ready. It's a little bit of spicy, a little bit of sweet. The sauce is terrific. The chicken is so tender and delicious. You have to try it at home. You'll never want to take out again. So I hope you enjoy the recipe. I hope you like the quick video recipe. If you're new to my channel, please take this time to subscribe. I have lots more recipes coming. Recipes from everywhere, recipes for everyone. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.